Hello and welcome back to Self-Critical, where a group of agrophobic friends come together in RP, actually going outside. Once again, your humble dungeon master, Andy Purcell, and this is our group of hopeful but still hapless heroes. Say hello again, hapless heroes.
Hello, hapless heroes.
Last time we left off, I believe it was all jovial fun, right? Nothing really to worry about too much. You may have found yourself kind of in semi-cramped corners, all of you being in the RV camper office of Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
At least he wasn't naked this time.
Yeah.
He wasn't naked this time. Because there's a lot less of a draft. You were in the beginnings, or at least into negotiations / information being given. A lot was implied about not implied, a lot was told about a portal that you need to get to. And most of the answers that you're trying to figure out that they can't tell you right now will more than likely be answered very quickly as soon as you cross through. We had left off with a very hectic Mr. Light, worried about a missing crown of the Witchlight Monarch that is due to be crowned in the next 30 minutes. We're going to pick up with that as Mr. Witch turns and says, "It's unfortunate, but the important things have been found. And if all else fails, we know what will happen with the crown when the sun rises. So, go with plan B until it's discovered. We was probably going to crown one of these guys anyway. Isn't that right?" And Mr. Light holds up his crown, his weather vane, and it's kind of, it's like, yeah, it was gonna be one of you guys. It's
What is this?
as he holds the weather vane away, like it turns, pointing back to the group. Kind of in general of this proximity, sort of like a compass being too close to something. It doesn't really accurately, but you know, this is the spot. You pick up that this weather vane, it picks up the emotions of the carnival, and good and bad, and those who have contributed the most in uplifting the spirits of the carnival tend to be the one who are crowned the Witchlight Monarch.
What does this crown look like?
Oh, he actually pulls up a picture of one of the posters of someone being crowned at the end. It is, well, you know what it looks like, but it is a very elegant crown that is, it looks like it's gem encrusted, little gold and white gold, and it's just a very elegant royal looking crown that you can see on this placard.
All right, then.
Why do you think it would be one of us with some of the things we've done trying to put a stop to
What do you mean we?
Oh, I'm saying that one of you was probably going to be crowned. You've done the most to help this, all of us, including us personally. You've given us back the watch, if nothing else. That's a deed in itself for being deserved crowned, if nothing else. But we'll just have to find a tiara or something, and we'll crown somebody tomorrow when the crown comes back to us. We'll just give them an IOU or something. It'll be okay.
The reason I ask, I did find a crown or something like that. It might have been a tiara. I really don't know what it is. It was really shiny though.
Mr. Witch goes, okay. Do you have it with you?
I do. I reach from a little bag, pull it, meant to start pulling it out a little bit, but not all the way out. Just so.
He immediately sees what you have. It is very obvious.
Would this look like it, or
So did you happen to, well, what was that one? Did you happen to find this crown near that watch?
I don't really remember. We were just, I remember like some stuff happened. There was like a lot of like a kid with some buttons, and on the way there, I just saw something out of the corner of my eye. It was just so shiny. And
Mr. Light comes rushing right up to it. Oh, this is exactly it. Thank you so much. You know, you're probably gonna be the one who deserves it anyway. And he goes, but well, you know what? That's in 20 more minutes. We really, and he begins hurriedly running out because he is way late for some stuff he needed to do because he spent way too much time looking for a crown he missed. Okay.
You're
so
welcome.
Mr. Light begins kind of hurriedly going out the door to get a few people together. You hear him saying something about, oh, Burley, come on, we've got to get the crew together. We're wrapping it up. As Mr. Light begins excluding himself from this scenario. Is there anything you guys want to do in this moment, or are you fine with that? Continue with Mr. Witch.
I go, well, you're welcome, I guess.
Thank you.
So do we at least get to stay for the rest of the carnival?
What's that?
Do we at least get to stay for the rest of the carnival?
Oh well, if you mean the next 20 minutes, certainly. There's going to be there's going to be the crowning, and then for about the next hour, it's really more of a wrap up, enjoying what is left of the shows and rides, and then when the sun rises, the carnival will be over.
Tonight?
But I would rather
Who's
you
pregnant?
guys probably make your exit as soon as possible, but we'll let you stay for the coronation.
Okay, yeah. Do you mind? I mean, while this is all going on, do you mind if we, get ready to start saying our goodbyes? Because by the time we're done saying goodbye to everybody that we want to, or hang out, by then the crowning should be happening, right?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, there's going to probably be kind of a big to-do right at the crowning. There's unforeseen favorable circumstances have arisen, so I would definitely, by special request, ask that you guys attend. But yes, say your goodbyes. But afterwards, we will go to the Hall of Illusions.
Oh.
And you will hear what needs to be said. And so, he opens the door.
And where do we meet him for the crowning?
It is going to be at the Big Top
Okay.
Extravaganza.
Okay, you didn't say that
Right.
per se.
It's sort of implied by the carnival that it happens at the Big Top, but that's understandable. So he opens the door, asking politely, without saying it, for you guys to leave, so that he can begin wrapping up the things that he needs to do now that he has his watch in possession as well.
Thank you, Mr. Witch.
You hear as the door closes behind him. Thaco is there, and he motions to the what is going to be the exit, which he opens for you.
All right, I hear that.
Yeah.
I guess we just head out and
You guys
Bye,
step out.
Thaco.
The thatch closes right behind you guys. He doesn't say a word, and walks back over. What would you guys like to do for the next few minutes?
I'm going to the
as you-
Calliope.
Okay. You
Say
see
goodbye.
Thunderstout making his way towards the Calliope. Anyone may follow if you wish. What would you like to do? At the Calliope?
Say goodbye to the monkey and the
Okay.
goblin.
So you get over to the Calliope and you see Ernest, the monkey, and Marigold, the goblin. Marigold immediately notices you. She has a new cup that has been acquired in some means. You do hear the jingle jangle of some buttons, and then she immediately is cheery faced and runs over to you, thanking to you. Ernest turning the crank with his little monkey smile and hand. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Ernest. But me and my group, we're all about to leave, and I figure I'd say my goodbyes.
Oh, man, nobody ever really says goodbye to me. And he kind of lets go of the crank, and it kind of just keeps running. May our paths cross again.
Hopefully.
If not too soon, simply keep an ear out for a whistle or a tune. Safe travels, my friend, as he catches back up.
Alright, and I hit on the kettle steam.
So you look around for Kettlestein, one who is trying to not be seen. And as you make it obvious, or at least apparent to one who would be looking for that, Kettlestein kind of makes their way over towards you. It kind of seems like now there's more like a big cloak on Kettlestein, and she's sort of sticking more to the shadows. Not necessarily in that disguise self spell anymore. But so sticking to the shadows, not showing themselves, but you end up finding her back over where you guys initially had linked up at.
And I just tell Kettlestein, I said, thank you for helping in the end with giving the voice back and making their life better, and for the help you did with getting all this kind of actually started, because you were like the stepping stone we needed in the beginning. And I appreciate what you've done for us, and it hadn't gone unnoticed. So maybe we can meet again somewhere down the road or whatnot. It'd be a pleasure. But thank you.
You hear Kettlestein mimic back in your voice something you had mentioned previously about you offering the freeing Zelbina, helping with Prismir. And then behind that, once again, your voice saying, thank you for helping us in return, with a nod of confirmation.
All right, and confirm back, yeah, we will do what we can to help with Zelbina. And if you end up tagging along for that adventure, that'd be great too. You never know.
With that, you get the understanding that there's like you hear the mimicking of the sun's coming up soon. I hear there's gonna be a crowning, and then you hear the mimicking of like a father or an older figure speaking to someone saying, "It's really late. We should leave before the crowds go." And then the sound of like a little girl, "But Dad, I want to stay. I want to stay." And then we should leave early. Nothing interesting happens. And so you kind of get the idea, like maybe staying for the thing, maybe leaving before everyone else goes to leave, just to sort of dip out early, depending on what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Next, anybody?
I guess I'll go see if I can find Palasha.
Okay. You go look for Palasha and give me a search check. Or an investigation, survival, perception.
Yeah.
Just give me one.
Something with a search.
Something.
19.
Perception. Hold on.
Not deception.
Perception, I said goofy. It'd be 23.
23. Okay, with the 23, you definitely find her. She was not over by the lake. She is near the back of the big top, over by the dressing area that you guys have never been to. And you can tell because with the 23, what you saw was the train. Behind her, not that kind of train, a very long, white,
Whoa.
silky train behind some type of dress.
Wedding
behind her.
dress?
With a 23, it definitely looks like a wedding dress, something very fancy.
Shut up.
But you do find her, and when she turns, like at first, like there's sort of like the idea, you see some people like, oh, you're not supposed to be back here, but when she sees you, she's like, and she goes to give you the biggest hug.
I hug her back and tell her she looks very beautiful. And I ask, what's the special occasion? Just to see what she says.
Oh, I'm sure you'll hear about it soon. Join us at the big top. It's going to be one to remember.
Oh, I will. I will definitely be there.
And then you hear a witchlight hands. Miss, hold. Let me get your makeup. And you see Veneer in the distance. We have got to get at least 5 more hands diverted to this. Don't worry about the cleanup at the orchard. We can do that later. As he's just walking on, he just continues back like behind the scenes.
I'll tell Palasha I will see her at the big top.
She is radiant with joy, knowing that you're going to be there. As she turns back to having her makeup done and talking about plans for the presentation.
Okay.
And you know what? I think I need to go pay Durlagon a visit.
Okay, Durlagon. So you work your way across the carnival over towards the Lost and Found. You see Durlagon just sort of, there's at this point kind of like 3 or 4 people who are milling around the area that seem to have lost things. And Durlagon, you see actually for one of the 4 people, Durlagon finally, like a tentacle pulls up something that looks like a backpack or a satchel, and they are like super excited and they leave. But the other 3 are still just kind of hanging around the Lost and Found area. You get over there. Durlagon immediately notices you and perks up. You see the ears kind of perk up a little bit, and the attention kind of focuses away from them to you.
Hey, am I interrupting?
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine when we can. How can I help?
Well, that's not really how can you help. We just want to say we apologize we was not able to find your son as soon as we thought we could. But we now have some leads, so once all this is over, we will definitely be going to find him.
You see her ears, when you say you couldn't find the son, they start to droop, and when you say you found some leads, they pick back up. Durlagon says, well, I wish you the best. And in your darkest hour, if you can't find my baby, just remember, look for the brightest star. And that is when you're reminded that her child's name is Star. The child displacer beast. Is there anything I can help with? There's going to be they want all of us to be over at the big top for the crowning in about 10 more minutes. Will you be there?
Yeah, it seems like me and the rest of my group is going to be there, and it seems like we're going to be traveling together afterwards. The only thing I ask is, do you know anything about the outside world where you may have heard something that, or some type of nearby town that would know of your child and make it help us?
We move so frequently. He wouldn't have probably been taken. We have certain protections for that by the outside world.
Oh no, I'm
I
not.
fear that this may have been something to do with the other side.
Oh, I know. I was just curious of like a hometown of people that actually knew you before you came to the carnival.
Oh,
That maybe want to help.
that's nowhere near here. Sorry, it's quite a ways off to the south on the other side of the sea.
All right. Well, like I said, we do apologize, but Mr. Witch and Mr. Light has given us some information. So once the carnival's done, we will definitely be focusing on that. And I hope to see you at the big top.
Indeed. And you kind of hear, like, not a change in the calliope music, but an extra sort of like, ba 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 ba, like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Come one, come all, you may be the one who gets to be the crown and have your fun. Who's going to be the witch-light monarch tonight? Come and see. Seats for all. 1 hour left before nighttime no longer falls. And with that, Durlagon begins, I'm terribly sorry. Makes one last look to kind of appease the 3 other people as she's finishing up and says, I need to close up. I will open up right after the big top event. and you see her begin like closing up this tent as you see other witch-like people begin making their way towards the
Yep.
big top.
I'm gonna head towards the big top.
Okay. Everybody makes their way to the big top.
Yes.
You get over to the big top. It's a great place. Lots of people.
It's pretty big.
It's got a big top
as
on it.
the spectators take their seats,
Fat
you
box.
see
Drop heavy.
Terlagon, shortly thereafter come around from the back. They're actually escorting Mr. Witch into the area. They begin to stand onto the sidelines next to Candlefoot, who and begins. Mr. Witch begins giving a speech. Candlefoot is holding a hat box. Normally, as anyone would know, would be the box that is presenting the Witchlight crown. But as he begins giving this speech, talking about how important this one symbol of love and joy and wonderment, and all the things that this symbol represents when one places it upon them, you see that Candlefoot opens it, and at first there's a gasp because you don't see a crown inside. That's when he reaches in, and in true mime fashion, mimics like, uh-oh, as everyone's like, and then he reaches in and goes, and reaches in and pulls out a gold ring. And that's when you hear the organ music of the Calliope change to more of a da da ba ba bum 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 as everyone turns and sees Palasha with 16 witch-like hands leading her in, carrying her train, and a little monkey, a little hat, and a little pillowcase behind him. Excuse me, a little basket, throwing little flowers, little petals, and giggling and laughing. A couple of buttons you hear hit the floor along the way. Yes,
How's she moving through if she's a mermaid?
she is a siren, so when she gets on land, she can have feet. Not exactly a mermaid, more of a siren.
Gotcha.
So, but she begins walking down this aisle. The music is playing. You have Mr. Witch, Mr. Light. She gets up there. A man of the cloth steps up. You see Veneer off to the side, looking around, making sure everything is the way it should be. You see, and then go back to stuff. Just keeping track of things. The wedding ceremony begins. Roll a perception check.
9.
7.
7.
Natural one.
14.
14.
Nat 1.
Right. So, ceremony is going off without a hitch as far as
You
you
just
guys
cried,
know.
it's
The
beautiful.
music is great. It dies down. The ceremony begins. It ends. May you kiss the bride. Cheers. When she says I do, right? The already vibrant color of Candlefoot just begins to almost glow, as if an inner light within himself is glowing forth. It is the most beautiful scene there. He is the most vibrant scene there. They conclude, they have their kisses, they exclude themselves. It's a great moment. You hear Mr. Witch go, as they begin to leave. Candlefoot turns and kicks up the hat box with his foot and flings it to him as Mr. Light is like, and goes to catch it almost comedically. He turns and goes to open the box again, and there is the crown. And now the crowning of the Witchlight monarch. Who could it be? Who? Is it you? And you're like, you see children like, ooh, 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 and he turns Now, do we want to pick who's going to be the monarch, or should we just roll to see who's the most charismatic at this moment?
Oh,
Does
God.
anybody want to just vote anybody to be the crown, the monarch, or shall we just roll it off?
So let's just roll
I
up.
say roll off.
Charisma checks, people. Give me a charisma. I'll give you all advantage.
Charisma save.
Charisma
Okay.
check.
Okay. I'll just roll once.
Did you roll 20?
I rolled a 20.
Somebody else might get a nat 20.
I got a 20, but it's not a nat 20.
Not a nat 20.
15.
I should have just
So-
kept the damn crown for myself.
The scepter, the weather vane turns, and eventually, you,
The most useless
the gloomy
one.
one. Dark as you may be, you've been the light of this carnival this eve. Step forth and be crowned the monarch.
Get drowned.
You step up, there's a crown of golden butterflies. It is placed upon your head, and these happy clowns that are near just begin showering you in golden glitter confetti. There's a big presentation of it, and you begin being escorted on a circuit around the stage where normally Palasha would be here, but it is Marmalady, the extremely bearded dwarven lady with one or two bees still in tow. You actually happen to notice one of the bees gets a little close for comfort, but then you realize, hey, I've seen this bee before. It's the queen you saved.
Mm.
It kind of lands on your shoulder. You feel like a little bit of a, I'm not even going to give you an animal handling check for this. You know this is a happy little bee. As it and takes off. And you hear somewhere off in the distance, someone getting stung. Palasha comes back around just long enough to begin a song. You thought she was going to be gone, but this is her favorite part. And she begins giving a song that is the ending ceremony of the carnival. And as she finishes this, Mr. Light leads you through the carnival, across, around to the different things. Everybody gets to see. Burley is there. You happen to notice Ween and Reuben, right? The two halflings that previously proposed over by
Yeah.
the Hall of Shadows. And as the parade begins to come to a conclusion, you find yourself at that Hall of Illusion, and everyone begins to move along. Thank you, the ceremony is done, and good night. You know that while you have this crown, you can cast Fly on yourself. You have 3 charges. Now that you have the crown, you have the charm of the monarch. You don't necessarily need the crown, you have the charm. You have 3 charges, you can cast Fly 3 times, lasts for an hour, same as your move speed. Everyone begins to step off, and then it is just all of you at the Hall of Illusions, next to a series of mirrors. And some of you look very young, and some of you look very old as you walk through. And as Mr. Witch and Mr. Light move through the halls of illusions, their reflections in the mirrors show them as gloomy, Shard Nakai children. One rather street radish almost. The other kind of a nice upbringing, the way you can tell by their clothes. And your own youthful reflections follow behind. Soon they call you to a halt, and the mirrors you stand before you, one of them, having previously been shattered, seems to have been replaced. And Mr. Witch dresses you in a hushed tone. Everything you seek and more lies behind this mirror. If you need to step through, then step in front of the glass and repeat this. Hither, thither, here and there. Wander yonder, show me. I'll just give it. Hopefully do it. But they stand there before, offer you
Step through, I guess. I'll be the
Someone's gotta
first.
Say the words.
Hither, thither, here and there.
Hither, thither, nither.
You say the words.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who says the words? You say
I'll
the
say
words. You step through.
Yeah.
You see the Genasi halfling step through.
Oh.
Who's next?
We also it sucks to be him and we don't. Yeah. Now I'll just
Just reach my hand through the
Okay.
rim.
The ranger follows behind.
Wendy?
Me.
You see the elf step through, almost hesitating, as you, with a sigh, knowing that you're going to have to keep them all alive, begin to step through. Mr. Witch reaches out her hands on your shoulder. Yes. Mind of rule free. Future. Present. Past. Light chimes in. Find the alicorn and free the dormant queen at last. With a proudly panel, and it says, "Etiquette of the faith." As you then kind of give them a little push to continue behind them before you're too far. And with that, you step through, and on the other side,
Got friends on the other side.
you see the hither. And we will pick up with that next time on Self-Critical. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.